people who get angry fast aren't just short-tempered. They're running a brain that behaves like a malfunctioning early warning radar, constantly scanning for threats, constantly misinterpreting signals, and firing off emotional flares long before anything actually happens. And the wild part is, most of them don't even know they're doing it. To them, anger feels like a justified reaction. To everyone else, it looks like a sudden explosion, but underneath it all is a survival mechanism that's been turned up way too high. Here's the thing nobody tells you. Quick anger is rarely about the moment, it's about overload. When the brain feels unsafe, emotionally, socially, or physically, it defaults to its oldest tool, aggression. Not because the person wants to fight, but because anger temporarily gives them control. Their heart rate spikes, their blood vessels tighten, their senses sharpen. For a few seconds, anger becomes a shield. And when life has repeatedly taught someone that vulnerability is dangerous, the shield becomes permanent. Their brain stores that as the fastest escape route, and now every inconvenience becomes a threat. People who erupt quickly usually carry a hidden strain, chronic stress, unresolved fear, or a background of being ignored or overpowered. Their nervous system operates like a car with a broken brake pedal. The accelerator works perfectly, one tiny trigger and off they go, but the brake takes too long to kick in. Biology backs this up. When cortisol stays high for too long, the amygdala, the brain's danger center, becomes jumpier. It overreacts. It flags harmless things as threats. A delayed text becomes disrespect. A small noise becomes an attack. A simple disagreement becomes betrayal. They're not reacting to reality, they're reacting to a threat map their brain built years ago. But here's where the psychology gets even more interesting. Fast, angry people often operate with low emotional bandwidth. The brain has limited space to process feelings, and when someone is mentally overloaded, sadness, fear, embarrassment, or confusion all collapse into one quick, explosive emotion, anger. It's the equivalent of every warning light on a dashboard turning into one giant red signal. The person doesn't feel nuance anymore. They only feel pressure and release, and the fastest release is anger. What makes this worse is environment. If someone's life is filled with chaos, unpredictability, or constant disrespect, their brain starts expecting danger everywhere. It becomes a survival reflex. But once the brain adopts anger as its default defense, the person loses awareness of how extreme their reactions look. They genuinely think they're reacting normally. That's why fast, angry people often justify it. I'm just being honest. People shouldn't test me. I don't tolerate nonsense. In reality, these lines are just armor, protecting a nervous system that's been stretched thin. Now here's the part that actually helps. The brain can unlearn this, but not through force, not through count to 10 nonsense. The trick is slowing down the danger signals before the anger even appears. When you anchor your breathing, when you build small pockets of predictable routine, when you sleep enough, when you reduce hidden stressors, the amygdala stops firing like a broken alarm. You're not controlling anger, you're preventing the signal that creates it. And when someone learns to recognize the early physical cues, the tightening jaw, the hot chest, the dropped stomach, anger stops feeling like an explosion and starts feeling like a choice. The surprising twist is that many fast, angry people are actually deeply sensitive. Their threshold for emotional pain is low, so their brain responds with the one thing that makes them feel powerful: intensity. But with awareness, boundaries, and a calmer internal environment, their reactions soften. They stop reading danger in every shadow. They stop assuming the worst in every interaction. And suddenly, the same person who once snapped at everything becomes someone who pauses before reacting because the threat radar finally stops screaming.